So this is the icon of Saint George the Victor, who is the patron of this monastery Zograf in Mount Athos. There are 3 miracle-making icons of Saint George in the church of the monastery. I'm gonna walk up here a little bit. The view of the monastery and the guest house. I'm breathing heavily now because my condition is pretty bad. Haven't done much jogging lately. The cross, a very important symbol in the Orthodox Church, the cross. So I'm filming this to give you a glimpse of small part of the Mount Athos peninsula. One of the 20 monasteries. There's 17 Greek monasteries, 1 Bulgarian, 1 Russian and 1 Serbian. And there's some smaller places to live called skitis, where they have a small community of monks, and they usually have a church where they do their services, and they're usually making something with their hands they can sell in exchange for the food they buy. I think it's getting too dark in here, so I'm not going to go up there. I'm going to go back here. So life is pretty simple here. You have something, some assignment during the daytime, and it's not like a job. It's not like 9 to 5 job. Sometimes it takes an hour, other times 2-3 hours. And then you have free time for prayer and rest, because they get up at 3 at night for a church service which lasts 4 hours, from 3 to 7. There's another service in the evening, so they spend 5-6 hours in the church every day. So is this monk life for everyone? I have to say no. In my experience, I haven't been able to do it myself. So I spent part of the time here. Let's say half the time I spent here, 5-6 months a year, and the rest of the time I spent at home, back where I come from. So I haven't been able to integrate myself into this type of life. Maybe in the future, who knows, but it's tough. There are no stores here where you can buy groceries or drinks or cigarettes, stuff like that. And they serve you some meals, and oftentimes it's not enough. You go hungry, and you're looking to supply some food from somewhere. Same with the drinks and cigarettes if you're a smoker. There are no women here. In the whole of the peninsula, Athos, there are no women. I saw a woman on the ship before the ship left in Oronopoli, but she was some kind of maintenance crew and she went off before the ship departed. So no women are allowed on the peninsula. And that is a tradition since the 1st century, actually. Our Lady Virgin Mary herself was here on the island, on the peninsula, and she dedicated this island to monastic life. So she did not allow women. That is with the blessing of our Lord Jesus, so that the monks will not have any temptations of that nature. When you have the women here, of course, there will be marriages, there will be relationships, which is normal when women are present. And that's why for the monks to have a real devotion to God only, they have, I think it's the only place on earth. There are some monasteries, of course, out in the world which either male or female, that don't allow the other sex inside. But as a whole small country, which this peninsula is, I think it's unique in the whole world in this regard. So no, this kind of life is not easy. It's not for everyone. One must have a calling. There are many temptations, and of course people are different. Some people are using smartphones, internet. Others, they're not using anything. Any kind of electronic device they're not using. Which should be the right thing to do, but we're so used. Most people are so used with our smartphones and internet that we cannot go without, even for 24 hours. And of course everything is changing. I mean, 30, 40 years ago there were no cars here. No trucks. Only mules were used for transportation. But today is very different. Every monastery has cars, machines, solar panels, everything modern. So anyone can visit here, any male. A visa must be obtained from either Thessaloniki or online, and the visa itself is obtained in Oronopoli, which is the small resort town from where the ferry boats start to the monasteries. So this is just a brief introduction for anyone who is interested in visiting Mount Athos, the monk republic, I call it. I don't know if it's right to call it that way, but it is a monk republic, indeed. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.